the green, and look at Montoya looking racing immediately in the second of the Acras. They're sitting third.
Nunez on the inside. Look at that Mazda.
3 wide into the brake zone. This is where it funnels. It's going to get tight. Montoya has to give it up.
And they bash again, and Montoya's forced to give it up. Here comes the Konica Minolta Cadillac.
Jordan Taylor looking super aggressive there. He gets a tap from behind from the other Mazda.
That's a forceful start, and Tristan Nunez in the Mazda says, we want to win here. Our home base is not far away, and Elio Castro Neves leading the way. Filipe Nasr gets a little loose there into turn 6.
Yeah, tire temps aren't up yet, AJ, and he got a little twitchy there. He got really close to Elio. Probably had to use a little bit more brake pressure. The car went away on him a little bit.
Filipe Nasr knows with cold tires, this is his best opportunity to get around Elio Castro Neves. It's very rare you see, we see John Bennett in the tire barrier. This is what we had just talked about. That looks like turn 6. Either he got in too deep, or maybe got in and clipped the inside barrier there.
This is where Jonathan Bomarito went in yesterday. Now, is John Bennett able to engage reverse and get himself out of there to avoid going full course caution? Meanwhile, Filipe Nasr in that red and white wheel and Corvette Cadillac, it's hounding Elio Castro Neves, trying to set up a turn 1 move.
Elio defending rigorously there in the middle of the road.
It's almost a carbon copy of last year, it seems like. These same 2 cars were battling it out. Filipe Nasr just knows he's got the pace over Elio already. He wants to get around him quickly and start to gap him.
And part of that nervousness is he's looking in his rearview mirror and he's seeing the Mazda of Tristan Nunez get closer and closer.
The key for the Acras is if they can keep those rear tires underneath them. They have a lot of tire degradation last year. So you see Bennett there trying to get, he's right in the way of the traffic there. Montoya really close.
Boy, this is a sketchy situation.
Cost Juan Montoya there. Jonathan Bomarito dives in there and turn 8, loses it.
We talked about the aggressive nature of this 100-minute sprint, AJ. We're seeing it early.
Oh! GTLM leader Nick Tandy almost slams into Bomarito. And yes, finally a full course yellow. Understandably so.
Another whack GT.
So Juan Pablo Montoya gets checked up there, trying to miss the 54 car of John Bennett. We see Jonathan Bomarito down here. Terrible angle. Gets in there, gets clipped a little bit. Has nothing to do.
This is what happened to John Bennett. Turn 6.
Oh, just clipped it just like Bomarito did yesterday.
We are there to pounce. That's kind of been the story of the last couple of years as well.
Absolutely. Look at the 66 car there, Sebastian Bourdais. We talked about in the pre-show, last-minute substitution, Joey Hand. Got sick after Sebring. His young lad Chase was sick, and he's got a little bug. Kind of rode it out for a week. He came here and did a media day last Tuesday, and suddenly he said, I felt worse. And over the course of the week, he just got worse and worse to the point he said, I cannot compete. I'm not going to be healthy enough. Had to make the call on Tuesday to tell the team I'm not going to be there. And that's a big call to make. Joey's on the pole here. This is his local race. You know he wants to be here, AJ.
Back at Long Beach, and problems for the 55. The Mazda Team Yost DPI prototype. It was stopped out on track with Harry Tincknell behind the wheel, and then got going again, got fired, but not before the yellow flew.
And the key there is, as we are away in break, the number 66 Ford GT made a pit stop. Bourdais jumped out, and that is perfect timing. They were then in their window to get to the finish, and what happens when we go yellow like this, pit lane is close, so there's a big stack up. All of the other GT Le Mans cars will come in. Bourdais now with Dirk Mueller behind the wheel, in fact, will cycle to the front potentially.
Hey.
And they do have a loose right front tire that is told Pippo Durrani. As he said, awesome job. You see it right there. As he said, awesome job getting us off pit road. They told him, you have to come back. We did not get the right front tire.
There it goes. Yeah, just as we went away from that camera shot, going into turn 1 there, you can see the right front wheel nut looked like went bouncing away. And
this is one of our championship leaders, AJ, tied with the 10 car coming into this race, and there goes that right front.
31 car there doing a drive-through for a stop plus 10 for obviously losing the tire. IMSA bringing it back in for the penalty. That's really just going to end any chance that they had to win this race.
Yep, that's stay done.
You got to factor in maybe an extra lap depending on the falling of the time and the checkered flag. Look at that. Ricky Taylor down to the inside on the Mazda. Look for way through. Dane Cameron gets a run side by side with his teammate.
Wrong side there. Will Owen locks up down into turn 8.
Cold tires feeling the heat from behind.
Ollie Jarvis, is he close to have a look up into turn 9? Cadillac's got plenty of legs down this long back straight.
Let's not forget about Steven Simpson back there running fourth, doing a great job.
Remember that Punko's car pitted from the lead, but this is to just try and stay on the lead lap. He's struggling for grip.
Dane Cameron tagged the back of Ricky Taylor there, and it cost him time because here comes Steven Simpson in that yellow JDC Cadillac, and up front as well for overall. It's down to less than a second, and here in the GT Le Mans class, Jan Magnussen just put a classic move on Patrick Pilet.
Well, he got a great run off the hairpin, and then he gets side by side, and Pilet doesn't want to give it up. Jan starts to squeeze him, gets in front, but watch this. Pilet gets in the back. I thought Jan was gone down the escape where he just keeps it together. Just superb driving by Jan Magnussen.
People used to say to Kevin Magnussen, your dad's Jan, isn't he? Now people say Jan Magnussen, the father of Kevin, who's racing in the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix this weekend. That is a quality move.
We see here into turn 1, Tommy Milner sees a chance maybe to slide behind Ricky Taylor and get around the Porsche 911, gets in too deep, gets in the back of them. Luckily for all of them, they all save it, race on.
Patrick Pilet was the bounce board there. Actually, maybe there wasn't side-by-side contact, I don't think.
It's a solid performance, but they need a win. It's been an almost one-year drought. The next round of the championship is the last time that the Acura Team Penske won, and it's their only win since they entered this form of competition.
Back straight, great view, and that narrow margin. In GTLM, Earl Bamber, even despite with that damaged diffuser on the rear, is hanging tough and keeping Dirk Mueller behind, and Jan Magnussen with 1 foot on the podium. Oh, look at this. Will Owen, nose first, into the tyre barrier.
There is nowhere to go for this. I mean, if he backs up with any traffic coming, there's nowhere for them to get around him.
This is a very, very dicey situation. Less than 6 minutes remaining. This is similar to the John Bennett scenario earlier in the race, but nowhere near as much real estate to play with. And Albuquerque and Ricky Taylor are about to, there they go.
I don't see any life. I don't see any exhaust smoke coming out of that like he's blipping the throttle. I think he's just stationary and stalled the engine as well.
This is what happened.
Durrani makes a move. Lances him.
Great move. Never touched him getting in the corner. It looked like it just was a late aggressive move. Once you get out there, we talk about that excess debris of rubber. Got in there. Luckily, he's moving again.
What a performance by Filipe Albuquerque, just placing this car perfectly to not open the door for Ricky Taylor to make a move. Again, he gets the advantage in traffic.
That might be game over right there for Ricky Taylor. You're going to have to follow the 911 through the fountain here. You're going to have to follow him through turn 4 and turn 5. Filipe Albuquerque going to stretch it out. That move right there into turn 1 is what won him the race.
Not a big delta between the prototypes and the GT Le Mans cars through that sector, but certainly a few tenths, and they are vital at this stage of the game.
Down the hill to turn 8 and onto the back straight for the final time. It's a little too far, isn't it? Or is it? We won't give this one to João Barbosa and Filipe Albuquerque yet, but it's looking good for the Mustang sampling Cadillac.
He needs help from another GM car right in front of him. What will that Corvette do? Will Ricky Taylor put it all on the line in the hairpin?
Final time to the iconic hairpin here at Long Beach. Albuquerque and João Barbosa, the defending race winners, will go back to back. Wow, they snuck up and did it last year. They've done it again. And there is João Barbosa and the Action Express crew. And look at this, Dirk Mueller.
It looked like Dirk Mueller. Just taking a guess,
there, right?
It looked like he might have been close on fuel and run out, or something happened, because when they came off the corner there, he didn't go, and Jan Magnussen did.
What's happened there?
That's not Mueller's car, that's parked in turn 8. This is the sister car.
But this is Filipe Albuquerque and the Mustang sampling Cadillac, back-to-back victories here at the Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix.
Guys, I love IMSA racing. I love calling these.